Hi lovely people, so today I am filming a video on money mindset and on intentional spending. It has not always been easy for me to talk about money and to talk about spending. It's still not the easiest thing for me, but I have come a long way. So since I've gotten a few questions about intentional spending before, both here on YouTube as well as in my personal life, I thought it might be time to do a video on the topic. So today we are talking about money and about intentional spending. I know I'm very late to this, but I discovered matcha and I'm loving it. I actually decided to try and make a rose matcha latte, and I can highly recommend it. I'll make sure to share the recipe with you in an upcoming video. For now, just know that it's really good. So the first big tip that I have for you is to go into this with a mindset of abundance rather than a mindset of lack and scarcity. And this is definitely the most important step. Might also be the hardest actually, but it is where I would recommend you to start with this. So if you do not go into this with a mindset of abundance, but with a mindset of lack and scarcity, this is going to be so much harder for you, and it will feel more like a punishment, which we definitely do not want it to be. So of course everyone's situation is different. I cannot see into your wallets. However, I do think by just adjusting your mindset, you can at least make it feel like you are living in abundance, even if your situation may not necessarily directly reflect that feeling. But even just having that feeling is going to make a really big difference for you. So a very simple trick to help you get into a abundance mindset is by using affirmations or mantras or whatever you'd like to call them. An affirmation that has really helped me personally is I am living in abundance and money is flowing to me freely. Basically what this is about, it's all about rewiring your brain to get into a more positive mindset around money. So every time that you notice you are having thoughts around money that are not positive, that are negative, that are rooted in a mindset of scarcity, of lack, repeat to yourself, no, I am living in abundance, money is flowing to me freely. That's what I've been doing, and it really does help a lot. I can tell you that. So if you're not quite there yet and it feels a little bit too weird for yourself to repeat this affirmation to you, something that might help you for now is just repeating to yourself, I am worthy of living in abundance. This is actually where I started. So I think we can all agree that you want to live in abundance. So you are worthy of living in abundance. Why not? Why are you not worthy of living in abundance? If there is something for you there, definitely dive a little bit deeper in that and try to find the roots of those thoughts. But start with just telling yourself that you are worthy with living in abundance, and then when that comes pretty naturally to you, that's maybe when you can go a little bit deeper and telling yourself, I am living in abundance and money is flowing to me freely. That said, whatever you do, don't spend money you don't have. It's really that simple. Basically, look at it this way. Your future abundant you, would they spend money on something that they did not have? Most likely not. So if you can avoid it, just don't spend money you don't have on anything, definitely if it's something that is not absolutely necessary. Okay, so with your mindset in the right place, let's get a grip on your finances. First, you are gonna need to know what is coming in every single month and what is going out every single month. It sounds very simple, but you'd be surprised on where you're spending your money if you have not been tracking this. So that is the next step that I'm going to recommend to you. Start tracking your money, both the inflow and the outflow. I have used a very simple Excel spreadsheet for years and years and years since I was a teenager, like an early teenager, I think since I was maybe 12 or something. It's been that long? Oh my goodness. It is going to give you so much insight in how you are spending your money, which is going to really help you later on. So I will make sure to leave a link to the version that I use in the description box down below, so that you can check it out for yourself and use that, or maybe slightly tweak it to meet your needs. But this is something that I've been using and that some people in my personal life have been using because they asked me about it, and so I set it up for them, and it's been really helpful for them as well. So basically what you're going to do is just you are going into your bank account and you're gonna see what you spend money on and how much, and you're going to track that. In the beginning, this may feel a little bit overwhelming. However, the more you do it, the more of a second nature it is going to become for you, and it is going to help you a lot in seeing how you spend your money, which is then later something that you can actually take action on. So when you know how you've been spending for the last few months, maybe you want to go back into your bank account and track all of those things. Maybe you just want to start now. I'd say do this for at least a month. More is going to be more helpful for you to see what your rhythms and routines, I guess, are within your spending. Then it's time to set a budget for yourself. So you now know what is coming in every month. You know what is going out. It's time for a little bit of a reset and start making a budget. You can tweak this every single month. I have done this for years, so it has become second nature for me. But if you're just starting out, it may need some tweaking here and there, and that's perfectly okay. You can definitely tweak your budget as you go. So we're starting with what is coming in every month. This is what you can spend, and you're not going to go over this. Then we're going to look at the fixed costs that you have every single month. So these are your rent, maybe healthcare, a grocery budget, your phone, your car, whatever it is that you need to spend money on every single month. That's going into your budget first. So write that down, divide it up for yourself, see how much you have left after these costs. And then whatever is left is, for me personally, a saving budget. So I use a zero-based budgeting technique, I guess you could call this. Sorry, at the end, my leftover money is zero, absolutely nothing. Everything has a purpose in my budget. Everything is intentional, everything that I spend and save. However, it is important to keep in mind that that purpose can also just be something fun. I always have a little bit of fun money, I guess, in my budget to just spend however I feel like it. Okay, so you've gotten a grip on your finances, you know what is coming in each month, what is going out each month, and you know what's left for saving or just spending as you wish, basically. So it's time to look at your priorities, the intentional spending part, if you will. I always recommend having an emergency fund, I guess, a saving account in which you set aside a certain amount of money each month, or maybe you have a certain goal that you'd like to reach. I personally have a goal of at least 3 months of income that I'd like to have on this emergency fund, so that if something may happen, I do have a little bit of a buffer. And just the knowledge that that money is there for you if you may need it is also going to go a long way into your abundance mindset. So it's gonna go both ways. So I definitely recommend you set something up for yourself like that. You can just set aside a little bit each month. Also, it doesn't have to be the same amount every single month. For me, it is a very similar amount each month, but it doesn't have to be for you. So what I personally put into this emergency fund right now, as I'm still building it up a little bit, is at least half of the money that I have left every month to just put into my savings or spend it as I like. Maybe this is going to look a little bit different for you. That's perfectly fine. Just see what works for you here. So then basically having your future self covered. Let's see what other priorities there are for you. What is important to you, and try to allocate more money towards those things in your budget. So I'm not going to lie, I like to have nice things, I like to have beautiful things around me, I like to have a curated life. And I don't mind spending money on items in my life. I don't tend to like having a lot around me. I do like to be the things that I do bring into my life to be beautiful, to be nice quality, and to really add value to my life. And I don't mind spending money there. Really curating my life is one of those things that makes me feel like I am living in abundance. So it doesn't need to be a lot of things, just nice things that feel like I am living my best life, basically. So this is something that I will put money aside for every single month. So for each of those things, make a separate category in your budget. For me, I do have a category for clothing. I like to have nice clothing. I have a category for skincare. I have a category for journaling supplies, so from my fountain pens, notebooks, things like that. And I also have a category for little home things. So that's a very insightful look into my budget. So these are things that I will put money aside for every single month. So you can see these categories in your budget, like a little luxury budget or a luxury allowance, an abundance allowance. So the things that I'm putting in these categories are things that I genuinely enjoy and get a lot of value from. So these should also be things that you enjoy, that you get a lot of value from, that are priorities for you. And decide how much money you want to put into these categories each month. And again, it's totally okay to tweak this as you go. It doesn't have to be completely set in stone. It's just important that you have an idea of where you're going to want to spend your money and where you are actually spending your money. And then, like I already told you, I also set a small amount of money aside each month as fun money. So just to spend however I like to. Maybe go out for a cup of tea with some friends, or if I want to buy someone a present. That tends to be where my fun money goes to. So for me, that fun money often will go to experiences. Also books. I do tend to spend it on books. This year not though, because I'm on my low buy when it comes to that. So having your budget all figured out, this is going to take a few months probably to really get it right. Next tip is to sleep on it. So for most things that I buy outside of my groceries, I actually put them on a wish list first before buying them. I am not someone who is likely to impulse purchase anything. For me, most of the time, if I want something, it's going on a wish list right away. And it is likely to stay there for not just a day, no, not just a week. It often actually happens to stay there for months, in some occasions even years, before I will actually go ahead and purchase an item. I know that might be a little bit extreme for you, so if you just need a 24-hour break before making the decision, that's absolutely fine. But just make sure that you take a step back and spend a little bit of time without the item before going ahead and purchasing it. This way, making sure that you can actually think the purchase through, see if there is space in your budget to get this thing, and really make sure that this is something that you want to bring into your life. So if you've been tracking your budget, it is kind of likely that you have noticed that a lot of the money that's going out, that you feel like, where is my money going? That is actually going to impulse purchases. And this is basically what we want to make sure doesn't really happen anymore. So if you want to spend your money with intention, make sure that you take most of those impulse purchases out of the equation. Spending money on an impulse is not spending money intentionally. And then last but not least, like I already told you, don't spend money you don't have. I am not against credit cards. Sometimes they can probably come in very handy. I personally don't have a credit card because I've never really had a need for one. But I do think it's very important to use them wisely. So just try not to spend money you don't have, especially if it's something that is not an emergency. So that's it for today's video. Those were my tips on cultivating a healthy money mindset, as well as my intentional spending tips. I hope this was helpful for you. Like I already told you, I will make sure to link my spreadsheets down below, so make sure you check those out and just use them. Tweak them to fit your needs and see if it something that might be helpful for you. So let me know, do you have any specific tips on intentional spending, on cultivating a happy sure, we want a happy money mindset, on cultivating a healthy money mindset? Let me know in the description box down below. I would love to read your tips. So if this video was helpful for you at all, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more intentional living videos. I wish you a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!